Okay, let's press on, shall we? Let's figure out where we need to go. Looks like the way that I am.
I always have a backup plan.
Pointing the camera. Okay, up these stairs. These things look like bridges. Oh, they must just be pulled up, obviously, so can't go across that. Okay. Looks like we found where we're supposed to go. Good old Mort with the Melta. Okay. Conrad. Without a sigh of relief upon seeing you. Thank Providence you are alive and well. Always on time, eh, Conrad? The moment we finish chasing the riffraff around the deck, you show up. Always just after the fighting's done. You could set your chrono by it. Pointedly looks away from the arch-militant to you. Mort, pull yourself together. What did the Lord Captain send you to chivvy us along? We are all done here. I'll report right away. Master of Whispers, what is happening on my ship? The Voxnet is silent, the Voxmaster is not responding, armed assailants have stormed the officer's deck, and my arch-militant just destroyed several more heretics on the way here. Is this a severe case of warp madness? If some of my crew lost their minds and forgotten who they are and whom they serve, report. I have not yet received word from the Enginarium regarding any Geller field failures, but communications were already unstable half an hour ago, and now they have ceased altogether. Whatever the cause may be, the consequences are spreading fast. I am receiving scattered reports from the middle decks, and the only voxcasts from the lower bays are one-way heretical gibberish. That the madmen have already reached the officer's deck suggests that this outrage was planned in advance. Perhaps this is an organized mutiny. Okay, let's see. There. Mutiny, but who would attempt a mutiny here in the warp? Lunatics, fools, heretics. This ship houses thousands upon thousands of people. Pernicious thoughts and warp-induced delusions could have tainted any one of them. It is a difficult notion to accept, but such risks are inescapable. First, we have to confirm that the bridge and the Navigator's sanctum are secure, and I have the means to do both things at once. Ethelthrad, where is he? I must know if he is unharmed. A psyker aboard a ship that is potentially being assailed by the warp could pose a greater threat to himself and others than a whole army of madmen with improvised weapons. I tried to locate him, but the last thing known about his movements is that he arrived on Transitional Deck 18. Blast it. Master of Whispers, find Ethelthrad immediately. Seneschal, locate Talas and the Sister of Battle. Both are to remain at my side. Arch-militant with me. I must go to my study, and it appears that we might encounter heretics along the way. Lazarus? If I may, Lord Captain. Transitional Deck 18 is at the heart of the disturbance, and, if our goal is to bring Ethelthrad back, I could use some support. After all, I am not as adept at directly confronting enemies of the house as the esteemed Arch-militant, and taking into consideration Ethelthrad's psyker powers. And she's gone. That... Oh, I guess she's still there. The other people just ran off. Interesting. Then it's settled. Lazarus, find Ethelthrad and bring him here. In whatever state you find him, this elevator leads to restricted compartments such as my personal chambers and the bridge. Do not let me down. I require you both. Do you understand? In whatever state. What does that mean? We are in the warp. Considering the attack, there could be a disruption in the Geller field and the infiltration of malevolent forces onto the decks. Psychers can react to such things in the most unpredictable ways. Enough. Master of Whispers, you must not allow my heir to turn into a mindless mutant to perish under Enforcer fire. Do whatever it takes to bring Ethelthrad back to me. I hear and obey, Lord Captain. Then move out. Mort, come. Can't we take the guy with the Melta? That'd be very useful. No? Okay. Just me and the Master of Whispers guy. Are you ready to head to 18? It is a long walk and you do not even have proper gear. What does that mean? I have a proposition. Since I'm the more important person here, you can go in the front to shield me from potential... I like that answer. He smiles faintly. Certainly, Lady Theodora would be devastated if she were to lose one of her precious heirs. But that is no longer relevant. With a pop and a sharp crackle, something hits you in the abdomen. And you're consumed by unbearable, gut-wrenching pain. Is he betraying us? Oh, okay. I'm guessing that's yes. Promise you a special destiny. It is time to fulfill it. So, he's the one behind all of this. Okay. I suppose that makes sense. Especially since he is also a von Valencia's heir, but not one that Theodora approved of taking over, so he's probably like a little butthurt by that or something. Okay. A nice kick. Just kick him in the abdomen to wake up.
Careful, careful. Be gentle with our guest. He has an important mission to complete during our visit to the Warrant Chamber. And for that, I need him breathing. Oh, you are back with us, I see.
The Warrant Chamber. Okay, so that's what he wants. He wants the Warrant of Trade. Also interesting that some parts are voice acted, but not... I mean, I guess, given the scale of this, they probably couldn't voice act everything, so it's probably the pivotal moments that they have voice acting for. Wait, Vera, you two-faced scum, you were the one behind this mayhem. Yep.
How perceptive of you. I'll help you with the next insight. I need you here for your blood. You have the option to share it voluntarily, or I will squeeze it out of you myself.
Okay.
We are in the anteroom of the Warring Chamber, this void ship's most hallowed vault. There, beyond those gates, lies the relic that gives Theodora all of her power. The sacred Warrant of Trade. Only one obstacle remains on my path to obtaining it. The gates of the chamber are guarded by the Sentinel, an ancient device that will only open the door to a true heir of the dynasty. I expected to do this part myself, but never mind. You will offer your blood to the Sentinel.
Interesting, okay. So apparently I've been saying the Rogue Trader's name wrong. Theodora. Apparently it's Theodora, but I guess the H is silent. I'm sure I won't remember that, and I'll keep saying Theodora, but whatever. Are you doing this? What is it? Inbred? Is your blood too thin for the Sentinel? No intention, I will help you as long as you spare my life. No way. Nah, I like this one. What is it? Inbred? Is your blood too thin for the Sentinel?
On the contrary, the Warp's blessing has raised me too much above your kind, Fon Valencius. The Sentinel refused to submit to me. But you can help. After all, isn't that what family is for?
Of course, so your blood isn't muddled, you're just ascended. That's why you can't open it, of course. Coercion? Okay. So yeah, this must mean that if I choose this, I succeed. What, sorry, pathetic excuse do you even have here, apostasy, you sordid, wretched piece of grok? Okay, yeah, I don't even need to read the other ones. That's definitely the one I'm going with.
Wretched. What do you know about wretchedness? Theodora's cur. Are you hoping to buy a grain of her indulgence with your blind loyalty? Oh, I know this delusion. But thank the gods it no longer has power over me. Humanity can rot. I no longer serve mortal kind.
Ah, okay. So, looks like he may be falling to chaos. He did mention the warp, so that would make sense.
Once my work is done, I'll make that pompous wench Fon Valencius watch as I sacrifice her entire dynasty and commit their fate to the gods. And you will be the instrument by which I will accomplish this righteous act.
I wonder which Chaos God he's working under. If he's warp-based, probably Tzeentch. I mean, he could just be Chaos Undivided, I suppose, but interesting. Okay, skill test and dialogue. One of the available requires making a skill test. Unlike with passive tests, which are made automatically, in this case you can decide whether or not to select an option, the consequences of which will depend on the result. Okay, that makes sense. I'm guessing that's this one with this bracket in the head. I read the in your head when I said that. With the brackets. We'll do as you require, but find a way to make you pay for this. Enough threats, I will comply. I don't like. Let's try to fight it. I'm sure this won't end well, but might as well try. The voices in your head giggle and mock your desperate outcry. You feel this intruding influence forcing you onto your feet and making you take a step forward toward the gates looming in the center of the chamber. And yeah, it didn't work. Okay. This must be the Sentinel. In the gateway arch, you see a cogitator with a human likeness built into the front panel. As you approach, the torso twitches slightly. This is a servitor, an obedient automaton created from a lobotomized human being. The Sentinel turns its head to you, one of its eye sockets lighting up with two ember-like irises. Examine the device, look back, look for anything to be used as a weapon. Yeah, let's try that one. You look around in hopes to find at least something that could work as a weapon. Your search is in vain. The chamber anteroom is completely empty and in perfect working condition. Nary a broken panel or a protruding piece of rebar in sight. Well, that's unfortunate. So it looks like there's an 80% chance of this working. I mean, we might as well try it. I don't know what'll happen if we fail, but worth a shot. Oh, succeeded. Okay. You carefully inspect the design of the gate cogitator. What immediately catches your eye is the strange alloy that was used as material for the machine's components, some of which are unfamiliar to you. You suspect this might be some kind of archaeotech relic. Gain 20 experience. Nice. Okay. The servitor on the gate begins to move. With the screeching and groaning of metal, it leans forward closer to you. Its lower jaw opens with a drawn-out shriek, much wider than the jaw of a living human could. The servitor's mouth is filled with sharp metallic fangs that glint in the dim light. The vid screen to the right of you lights up, showing strings of mysterious symbols on a green background. A whisper runs through your consciousness, insisting, demanding sacrifice. The voices that filled your head after Voitvir wounded you with his blade did not go away. On the contrary, their source coiled itself into a tight knot somewhere in the depths of your mind. Might as well examine it. The servitor looks noticeably different from the ones you are used to. Its skin covering is attached together with copper thread and has metal hinges in place of the standard joints. It seems that the creators of the Sentinel did everything to ensure that the service life of this unit would be much longer than that of ordinary automatons. So I assume facing handed to it is how it gets blood. I don't think we have any options, so let's see.
Did you forget something? I suggest you hurry.
Okay, yep. Well, nothing to do but put your hand in it, I guess. I assume we'll open the door. The Sentinel's jaws clamp around your hand, puncturing your skin and sinking into your flesh. A few dark drops fall into the servitor's throat, and immediately you hear humming as the servo motors start up and the pumps stir into motion. The vid screen of the cogitator flickers. Several long minutes pass. The Sentinel's jaw remains closed, and you're beginning to feel sick. Perhaps if you were to lean against the gate, you could catch your breath. Maybe even close your eyes and pretend none of this ever happened.
High levels of caustic humus. The subject is in a state of heightened stress. Do you require assistance?
You do not understand where this quiet voice is coming from, crackling like static. Is it the Sentinel? The cogitator? Is it a figment of your weary mind? Whatever it is, you can clearly hear every word. Well, might as well try. Yes, I do require assistance. Pain shoots through your head and subsides just as quickly. It would seem the entity coiled in your consciousness does not have the ability to do you any real harm.
Request accepted. Initiating defense protocol.
Ooh, nice. Okay, so that obviously came from the Sentinel. Oh, these guys are gonna get annihilated. Yeah, mess them up. Ooh, damn.
There is still another way.
Of course he survives. Because why wouldn't he? Okay. So they got burnt to the crisp and the warrant chamber opened. Enormous gates match the importance of the thing they protect. Made of heavy metal and look impregnable. Oh my god, this is the warrant of trade? This thing is huge. God, I didn't realize they were like such massive documents. That's kind of cool. Let it be known that by my will and the true words of this document, I appoint this person to be the bearer of the warrant of trade. To be the paragon of humanity, unbroken by adversity, to walk bravely first into darkness. Okay, this is going way too fast. Yada yada yada. This person has authority to venture beyond the Imperium. Basically.
Escort the child of the house to safety.
I need a weapon. What madness is happening here? Who are you? Who addresses me?
Temporary obnubilation following acute stress. Mobile unit of the Warrant Sentinel standing by.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Are you the Warrant Sentinel?
Mobile unit of the Warrant Sentinel designed as a personal escort of the child of the house and a means of communicating with the rogue trader's subjects. Mobile unit standing by.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Yeah, I think I need a weapon.
Distance from the current location to the nearest arsenal. Initiating situational calculations.
Second after second pass here is that the service skull will not answer. Okay, well, might as well just take me away from here.
Middle and upper decks. Assuming the probability of safe placement in areas of concentration of armed units. Calculating. To prevent unauthorized units from breaching the warrant chamber, preemptive sealing must be initiated. The mobile unit will start executing the received order immediately after the safety of the warrant is secured.
Alrighty. Journal. There's a... Oh, this is just telling me about the journal. It's a quest log. Makes sense.
Let's not waste time with pleasantries.
Okay. So, what do I do now? Oh, I have to lock the chamber. Okay. Seal the warrant chamber.
Master, whatever are you doing in the warrant chamber? How did you... Throne preserve me. What is the meaning of this?
Hello, Abelard. Okay. Conrad. Are you with that trader? He doesn't sound like he's with them. Conrad Voidfear is a traitor. When we parted ways on the officer's deck, he stunned me somehow and brought me here.
What?
He intended to take revenge on Theodora for something and trying to reach the warrant of some part of the plan. He's clearly serving the unholy gods of the warp. Yeah, I think this one sounds better.
Oh, holy god, Emperor. I presume he is the one responsible for the mutiny. And, Master, I wish to remind you that you are to refer to the Lord Captain as Lady Theodora.
Okay, so he said Theodora. Maybe I just misheard Conrad the first time. I thought he said Theodora, which I thought was interesting, but he just said Theodora, so I'm gonna go with Theodora. Also, is that really the most important thing right now? I have to refer to her as Lady. So it would seem he's not here. Why don't we leave matters of etiquette for another time? I like that one.
Absolutely. With the Lord Captain's permission, I shall give you an hour-long lecture on how making use of proper addresses corresponds to showing due faith in the God Emperor's anointed. For now, however, we have more pressing matters on our hands.
Oh, Lord. Yeah, that's what I was saying.
You're in a bad way. I can treat your wounds. I have a Medicaid kit. And, for the love of the throne, now is not a good time to be walking around the decks without means of self-defense.
Hey, nice. Okay, so I get My stub revolver sword, some armor, and a medkit. Cool. Okay. Treating injuries. While fighting, your character can lose some of their wounds. Character suffered an injury after being attacked by Conrad. This happens when a character receives damage that exceeds 50% of their maximum wounds within 1 round. Injuries reduce the character's resolve. Considered a fresh injury. Once 3 rounds have passed, a fresh injury becomes an old injury. Fresh injury can be healed using a medikit without passing any skill tests. Old injuries can be healed with medikit, but they require the character administering the treatment to pass a skill test, okay? So basically, the sooner you can heal the injuries, the better. Once combat is over, the wounds of all party members are replenished automatically, but any injuries they may have sustained remained. Ooh, that's interesting. Okay. And it's also interesting that all of the wounds heal after combat, but that's kind of how they make it so you could have a lasting effect. So rather than keeping all the wounds, you just instead might get injuries if you were damaged enough. Interesting. Okay. Base skill Medicae. Okay, yeah, that's basically a healer class. Oh, apparently Abelard can. Okay. Well, yeah, let's start out by equipping all the stuff. Nice. Okay. And where do I see my intro? Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Inventory equipping. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. Is that my injury? Yeah, it is. Old injury. Healed with a medikit. It requires passing a Medicae skill test to succeed. Sounded like it said he can heal the party though. Oh, is that because of your... What is your... Yeah, I gotta right click. Okay, so I think he has field medic. Is that... Am I understanding this correctly? Can I see that? Character. Okay, features, talents. Oh yeah, okay, so he's a field medic. Okay, so press F1 and then click on me.
That is a noticeable improvement.
Oh, okay, cool, nice.
Now you're prepared for the trials ahead.
That's simple enough.
The lower decks are teeming with heretics instigating the rabble to revolt. But that is the least of our problems. The ship's enforcers are rounding up the scoundrels and suppressing the resistance. The situation on the middle decks is much worse, although strike teams have already been dispatched there. All communication with the bridge and the engineering bay was lost. So, apart from scattered voxcasts, we have no information to go on.
So basically, everything is falling apart. At least on the middle decks.
But that is not the worst of it. All these jolts and shaking are most alarming. These are signs that the Navigator and the Master Helmsman are having difficulty translating the ship out of the warp and into real space. I fear that they may have already lost control. We must reach the Navigator's sanctum and get a handle on the situation. If we can manage that, some aboard this vessel may yet survive.
That's a good point too, since we're in the warp and not real space. Like, this could go really bad if like the Geller fields fail or are sabotaged or whatever. And this ship would be crawling with demons then. Presumably. It's gone wrong. How'd you find me? I heard one of Theodore's Voxcasts. Did I really? Which one was that? Let's try that.
Lady Theodorus.
Oh, yeah.
Which one? The last one I received was about the Navigator's sanctum, and that was a good while ago. In any case, let us hope that the Lord Captain is well, and safely in charge of the ship's defense. In the meantime, we must do all we can to prevent the ship from veering off course.
Okay, how did you find me?
You sent me a Vox message. Specifically, a Vox cast on the officer's frequency, which I had the good fortune to receive. You mean to say you did no such thing?
Oh, I think the Warren Sentinel may have sent that message. It appeared when I opened the chamber. Yeah, that was probably it.
Warren Sentinel? The Lord Captain barely ever ventures down to the chamber, and I was at her side only once or twice when she did. And I did not see anything of the sort.
Well, I guess I'm fancy then.
The Warren Chamber is an ancient and rather sacred mechanism that the ship's tech priests treat with the utmost reverence. I assume that whatever it is that you did, you must have activated certain processes and caused the Sentinel to awaken. But then, why did none of it happen when Lady Theodora did the same?
Because I am the chosen one, not her. Can we expect to find in the Navigator Sanctum?
During warp transit, the Sanctum is closed to all who are not involved in traversing the Empyrean. And for good reason. For the Navigator to open their third eye and perceive the way, the Sanctum must be bathed in the energies of the Immaterial. Only a Navigator can withstand such an ordeal. For the rest of us, any contact with the warp is fraught with perils such as loss of sanity, spontaneous mutations, and death.
And death. Okay, very well. Will you lead the way?
Absolutely. Let us proceed.
Oh, a wave of static suddenly erupts from the service skull, and you can make out Theodora's words through the noise. To arms, loyal sons and daughters of the God Emperor. Fight the heresy and corruption that threatens to consume our home, and with all your might destroy those who have dared.
The Lord Captain is calling her crew to battle, which means the Vox networks are set up for broadcast transmission, not message exchange. Splendid. While the rogue trader inspires proper resolve to fight in her subjects, you and I shall prove that her trust in us is well deserved. Onward!
To victory! Oh, more heretics.
Challenges make the spoils that much
This with the
sweeter.
tactical phase. Characters cannot attack. Okay, so this is just placing before combat. Cell you want the character to move to. Red cells are areas inaccessible to the character. During the tactical phase, each character in the party may move up to their maximum movement points, but cannot position themselves adjacent to an enemy. Oh, okay. Interesting. Good to know. Well, like I can put Abelard there. I can put myself. Do these... Looks like these guys just have chain swords. Behind them. Are those on chain swords? Those are just swords. That'd be probably weird if the heretics had. Oh, hey, you just hit him. It is one guy. Companions can get hurt by your burst shots or area attacks to avoid friendly. Oh, okay. Combat abilities differ depending on the archetype. Makes sense. Area of effect. Successfully affected. Okay. Well, basically, I think all that tooltip was trying to say was that burst and area of effect abilities can hit your allies. Oops. No, I don't want to do that. Let's see. So yeah, I can see the yellow flashing, so... Wait, what is this? This is cleave. Interesting.
Bonnet.
Who even taught you to fight like this?
Oh! I thought I was that. I thought I was playing as Abelard. Okay, well, sorry, that's my bad.
It's as good as done.
Whoopsies. My bad.
I'll see to it personally.
That's so fun. I was wondering why I couldn't hit this guy. I'm like, why is it not showing up? And then I realized I was my character, not Abelard. And that's why I couldn't, because Abelard was in the way. Off to a great start. Nice parry, even though the character animation was a dodge. Your companion is a warrior, specialized in melee combat and drawing the enemy's attacks. Charge, only when they're using melee, is not considered an attack action. Use charge to close the distance, makes sense. 2 or more cells away. Adjacent to the enemy, yep, that makes sense. Okay. Now let's cleave.
It will be done. Dominance achieved.
Okay, there we go. That was much more effective. It launches a it launches a melee attack. Okay. That's good to know because I can't actually attack with a weapon again.
Someone else can do this.
Yeah, so I charge to him. Oh, and he parried. Okay. That's fine. Can make an attack of opportunity if an opponent in an adjacent cell initiates movement. Okay, that makes sense. Looks like he has like a las pistol. Okay, let's not attack our own guy this time. Pistol burst. I don't think I can use it on him again. Yeah, because cannot be targeted by this ability given for the next 2 rounds. So literally, I can really do is attack. So yeah, let's just be careful and do this. Okay, there we go. Took out 2 of them at least, and that's all I can do. Let's see if I can cleave again, and I can. 80% chance. And they're dead. Nice. Wouldn't that be funny if I gave Abelard an injury? Okay. Advance the level of your character. Prevailing battles. Yeah, experience points. Yep, level up. Okay, I understand. Which I can do now on both my characters. Okay. Use skill. Oh, that's kind of nice. It actually shows like your other characters' levels in each of these, it looks like, because I see Abelard in all of them. Oh, interesting. Okay. Should I do persuasion or commerce? My persuasion's already 60. That's, I assume, pretty good. Profitable bargains. That seems like it could be handy. You know what? Let's go with that. Okay. Commerce. I guess I have to press complete. Okay, cool. Now let's go to Abelard. Okay. Ability to resist negative effects applied by poisons, so that's decent. Traverse difficult terrain. Coercion, you're probably not going to be doing too much of that, because I'm much better at that. Demolition could be handy, though apparently I'm better at demolition even. Medicae, you have the skill, but like, you're a warrior, so I don't think you're really going to be much of a healer, so I mean, it also has the little thumbs up, so these are probably the preferred ones. I think I like athletics. Let's try that one. Okay, perfect. Reputation. Oh, interesting. Wow, okay. So these, interesting. So you're telling me these are all the different like factions we come across and we have reputation with them? I assume to unlock like really good gear and stuff? Interesting. Huh. Well, that'll be cool once we get to that. Okay. So can I
Always keep your eye on the prize.
Yep. Looks like I move them that, but I think I could pick up stuff from these guys. The enemies have no further need for their firm belongings. Yep. Items on the right side. Go to your inventory. Items on the left are packed up as cargo and sent to your ship. Oh. Oh, interesting. Okay, so we've got a cargo and then just our normal inventory, and this is currently, looks like Abelard's inventory. Is there like a compare button? Oh, okay, there is. It's automatic, it's just Abelard doesn't have a pistol, so. Yeah, chainsword seems like it's gonna be much better. Also, with all these swords, I assume this is just all of the characters, not just this one I clicked on. So maybe it has like a, what's it called, like a zone loot? Interesting. Let me check. Okay, so it's not better than mine either. Okay. So this stuff will probably be like all cargo. Drag, I guess. Okay. All to cart. Oh. Oh, interesting. Okay. Or it looks like I can also just automatically drag it. So let's just do that. Okay, so 60%. Selling full cargo to merchants proves your reputation with the faction. Okay. Higher the reputation, the wider the range of available goods from its representatives. That makes sense. Okay. It looks like there's a capacity for weapon types. So melee weaponry, I'm at 60% with 6. So each sword is 10%. Okay. Interesting. Cool. And yeah, all the bodies are no longer yellow, so it must have been like a loot area sort of thing. Okay, and it doesn't look like he has any injuries that I inflicted on him, so that is good. Map of your void ship consists of several parts between which you can travel. Some parts are not yet available. Over time, your character will be able to access them. We're at the Warren Chamber. We need to go to the Navigator Sanctum, so let's head there now. Okay, looks like the Vox Skull is following us too. Also, looks like there's a lot of war energy around here, which makes sense. Oh, looks like there's a Psyker here. He's on the staff. And that warp ability.
And so, he will enter the halls of the blinded guide and witness the radiance of the final dawn through the cracks and fall victim to a whim of fate.
Okay. Cryptic.
Master, watch your head. Idira, would it be too much to ask that you phrase your soothsayings plainly for once? That was too close.
That's funny. So she was warning me about something about the fall on me, but didn't say it very plainly.
Sorry, old man. The voices are so loud I can't even hear myself. They shriek, they sing, they... Oh, Abelard, how they sing!
God, gotta love psychers. They're all just going crazy because they just constantly hear voices in their head from the warp.
This is Idira Tlas, personal psyker and diviner of Her Ladyship Theodora von Falensis. Idira?
I'm not drunk, old man. I'm suffering the effects of the warp that is seeping through these walls. I see the ship's fate. To die in the waves of the Immaterium, fall under the burning rays of the final dawn, and in the roaring blaze I see a figure standing. Who is it? I have no answer.
I'm gonna guess it's probably me because I am the chosen one. The entity in your consciousness shrinks and crawls in deeper, its claws scraping against the walls of your mind, as if the presence is trying to hide from the seer standing before you. What are you doing here?
The whispers called me. The ones I could make out among all the screams and screeches. Those who are rocking this boat hit us where it hurt. They went after the Navigator, our guide through the warp. Other whispers called me to the enginarium, but it was too late. I heard the cry of our master Cog, and the silence that followed.
What?
Okay.
You don't mean the Enginseer Prime is...
Dead.
Said,
Yep.
without a doubt. And the voices wail, heralding countless nightmares, cackling at each soul among the hundreds that are now joining the warp. The shriek from the Navigator's sanctum was louder than the rest. And it's better that we saved the Navigator than some lever puller from a cooling module or a cook from the middle decks.
I mean, it's fair enough. Navigator's kind of important when you're going through the warp. You hear a few clicks from the relays on the servo skull, which has followed you all the way here, and Theodora's scrambled words give way to a voice vaguely familiar to you. Officer's frequency. To all who can hear me, those with the weapon in their hands are to gather on the officer's deck at once. I repeat, gather on the officer's deck at once and prepare to launch a counterattack.
That's Ethelthrat. Oh, Emperor's Providence. The other heir lives as well. Quickly, we must head to...
I feel like the Navigator's probably going to be more important.
Not so fast, old man. If we drown in the warp, Lady Theodora's heirs won't be any good to us. If Edelstrad's like me and hasn't yet surrendered his mind or body to the mercy of the warp, then he can still hold on a little longer without us.
Good point.
Blast it. You're right. First, we need to deal with what is happening here.
We must see if the Navigator is well.
Oh no. No. Nothing is well about him. Can't you feel the chill crawling on your skin? The eyes watching you? The warp ice has already encased the bulkheads. What follows is calamity.
I'm glad you have such a positive outlook on our situation.
But we're not just going to stand here and take it, are we?
Damn right.
The state of things in here suggests there's a Navigator around. Maybe one who's crippled or at death's door, but still kicking. And since our skin hasn't peeled off our faces just yet, his third eye must be closed. At worst, it's a little roughed up. So what are we moping around for? Let's go protect that noble mutant while we're still alive.
Yeah, that's more like it. Madeira has joined your party, which now consists of several characters. Select multiple characters, hold left mouse button and drag a box. Select the entire party. Press backspace. Oh, okay. That's kind of handy. Piece of pipe left a noticeable dent in the floor. Right where I was standing. Oh, looks like there's a heretic psyker in there. Onward. Urge the heretics. Okay. So, right now I've got Idira. Let's put her behind this, like, half cover. Oh, wait. This is full cover. Let's actually put her behind the full cover. Abelard, you can go behind the half cover, and I will... Well, maybe it'd be better if I go behind the, Yeah, Abelard, you can be up there. I think I'll go behind the half cover. Okay, let's try that. The Psyker and an Operative. She can study opponents and identify their weaknesses. Psyker abilities allow her to deal damage to them. Analyze enemies is an operative ability which applies the exploit effect. Which, if the operative hits a target with an exploit stack, the attack deals more damage. Okay. The operative can also use this ability. Hits a specific enemy to inflict several stacks of this effect. When it hits a target with an exploit, attack deals additional damage. Expose weakness. This ability reduces the enemy's dodge, parry, and armor if they're under an exploit, okay? And then Psyker stuff with her staff. Okay. We got two guys there, we got two guys there, and we got the Psyker there. Okay, I can Lightning Arc. I can increase one of my allies' dodge and parry. Psychic Shriek. And then the Analyze. I have 4. The question is do I want to shriek or do I want to try lightning? This will hit both. So yeah, let's lightning. Oh, it hits me too apparently. I just noticed that at the end, but Abelard, you can have some forewarning.
Was that you?
Okay. Okay, it's a hologram to gauge the effectiveness of your intended actions. Click left mouse button on any accessible cell on the battlefield to place a character's hologram there. Select an ability or a single shot attack to see the expected outcome. Yep. Oh, interesting. So I can even do that without moving first. Okay. That's actually very useful. It's only a 50% chance, but I might also hit the other. Oh, that's only a 1% chance, it looks like, so that's definitely not gonna hit, but let's try that. Oh, man. Okay, got both of them. Very nice. Then let's increase your characteristics and say done. Now, charge. Can't charge, okay. I should be able to move. Yeah, there we go, there's the charge. Charge. And then just strike. Nice. Okay. Vespiatus. The creature in the chair appears as if it has become one with its throne. You see pink, parchment-like skin stretched between the seat and the limbs that have too many joints for a normal human being. The Navigator is breathing heavily, the air whistling as it exits through the 2 dark gill-like slits on its cheeks. The creature's eyes are shut, the 2 ordinary eyes as well as the 3rd one that sits in the center of its forehead. Definitely don't want that opening. I believe Master Vespiatus still lives. Flinches at the sight of the stretched skin and the dark marks. The servants are dead, but the chamber, thank the Emperor, is still sealed from the warp. Well, we have a chance of leaving this place alive. Give him a pointed look. Hey, are you alive? Approach. Let's see what Idira thinks. Wounded, exhausted, fighting back the endless horrors of the warp that are forcing their way into his head. Pick one of them. Okay, yeah, I mean, fair enough. Navigator stirs, barely able to lift his head and half open his normal eyes. A dark drop rolls from under the closed lid of the 3rd eye and down his face, leaving behind a black trail. Your time is short. The voice is coming from the box grill at the base of the bizarre chair. It's unclear how the Navigator is able to produce human speech. You're in need help. We have to get you out of that chair. I don't know if he can really get out of the chair. Time is short, probably before, like, he dies. And then we get bombarded by warp demons. Alright. Sure, let's go with that one. Suddenly, the Navigator's body starts thrashing in place. It lurches forward, then falls back onto the seat, then thrusts forward again as its bones crack and its skin tears open. However, the fusion between the body and the chair appears to be stronger than these wild impetuses. The mutant remains seated, but leans as far forward as he can, his layered raiment slowly turning crimson. The gill slits burst open, forming 2 hideous, screaming mouth-like pits. Fall to your knees, mortals, and behold the final dawn. Okay, yep, he has become possessed, basically. It came from beyond. His body is not his. A dear scream is echoed by the silent cries in your head. The unseen creature triumphs at the sight of the Navigator succumbing to the paroxysms of corruption. Not sure if that's the right pronunciation of that. Its march thunders under the burden of hopes. Unseal your hearts, and I will flood your souls with myriads of words and meanings, each one a portent of salvation within me. The Navigator continues to convulse violently in his seat, shrieking and cackling, but then his fit stops abruptly. His face is drenched in black and crimson. The dark ooze from under his third eyelid has turned from a trickle into a stream mixed with the blood coming out of his nose, and there's purplish swelling around the eye. Run. Flee from this place while I still have the strength. Words come out of the box as a labored rattle. I can contain the intrusion, but not for long. We must begin the translation. Leave the warp. But it can't be done without the Master Helmsman's help. Navigator is still alive, but barely so. What do we do now? The ship can only begin the translation with the assistance of the Master Helmsman, if he is still alive. It is worth a try. We must get to the bridge, but we will need support. Our only option is to fight our way to the officer's deck and join forces with Ethelthred and his people. I believe we will also find Lady Theodora there. She must have heard the call to arms that the servo skull relayed to us earlier. Espiadas, good luck, and thank you. Navigator does not give her a response. Black tears mixed with blood are streaming from under the closed eyelids, and the box at the base of the chair is bellowing out static interspersed with distant echoes of otherworldly laughter. Oh yeah, he's toast. What is... Navigator appears dead. Only the slight movement of his chest and the twitch of his eyelids lets you know that he is still clinging to life. Alright. Let's go ahead and loot. A staff. Probably not better than hers, but might as well check. No, it is not. They look the same, but the damage says 12 on hers instead of 4. So this counts as melee weaponry and cargo, apparently. Yep, so I can only fit 2 more. Actually, yeah, this one was actually 20%. I guess it says at the bottom there, so let's fill up on the cargo. Okay. To the officer's deck we go.